because I changed that particular repository name. It is now software TFL software testing. So if you find TFL software testing, this repository was created 3 months ago, where I tried to organize content for software testing and software testing, software testing trends, software testing roles and responsibilities, SDLC, STLC, difference between SDLC and STLC, what is the test plan, what is test case, correct? What is test driven development, then goals of web application testing. There are different types of software testing frameworks available, XUnit and Selenium browser automation. So these all kind of points, whatever we discussed in more details, just for you to have glimpses of it. You can really find this thing. Let me just share this URL on your chat. Is it available? Yes. Do let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. And I was talking about the project which I was discussing. It is here under if you just go back to solution, you'll find there's a Vijay Solutions, Vijay Sales, e-commerce portal. So from that e-commerce portal, let us get the scenario. Let me just open this project to you. If you have some particular Vijay solution, Vijay Sales solution project, and you wanted to do the testing of their web API, testing of their components, testing of all those things. Let me see where I kept from my D drive. Software test. Yeah. Your solutions. Okay. Vijay Sales solution. Here is the project. Let me just close this Vijay.net Redact test project was this. Or I could do simple. I will simply drag and drop this component here. Vijay Sales solution. Vijay Sales solution. I'll just simply drag and drop over here. Let me first close all. So as I promised you, throughout the training session, I will do take care of taking e-commerce example in front of you, how we really did its analysis, how we really go for its design, how really we can write its code, how we can make layered architecture. Let me just show you. And the software testing parts also. So when you look around this Visual Studio solution, Vijay Soul solution, what do we observe? I have organized this particular solution in the form of 3 folders. One folder, if you are building a software, your software will be built by using certain dependencies. So dependencies are going to be my modules. For example, I wanted to work on product catalog. So product catalog related product class, product manager, logic. So there's a product class, there's a product manager class where I would have performed some kind of insertion, updation, deletion, like a CRUD operations code, skeleton C. Yeah. Similarly, like might be for order processing, I will have order or might be order manager class, their corresponding logic, or I may have math. We were trying to write that math class, math engine, addition, subtraction. So these are the two instance methods are created, member functions are created, and plus we also have calculator where we also added certain functions. There are certain functions I shown like a normal functions, and there are certain functions are shown like asynchronous functions. So some kind of logic has been kept. Shopping cart class, item class. So my dependencies are there, and dependencies has got that particular thing. So what is this? These are all class libraries. Data lib might be containing like I repository interface and data manager class where that interface will be the part, and then we will be able to call function get data from repository, something like a repository pattern, DAO pattern. HR module, order processing model. These are my dependencies. Now these dependencies, business logic classes, you are actually using within your web API. So we learn Spring Boot API in Java. Corresponding in .NET, we have a concept called web API. So can you get this web API here? So catalog web API. It's a web API where you have catalog web API, customers controller, product controller, flowers controller, and here's my flowers controller web API. Their implementation logic is kept. Their functionality has been implemented. What is that .NET you learn? No, that simple code I just kept it here. So that means we have a complete project of e-commerce application prototype. And these all kind of APIs, if you have it here, now we wanted to go for its test writing part, correct? Plus order processing, plus shopping cart API. So their APIs, their controllers, their methods. So my controllers are using simple controller, transflower that returns some kind of basic flowers. Get by ID returns simple kind of method. Web APIs are created. Those web APIs have been kept here itself. Now we have got a library, we have got libraries, we have got dependencies. Now we wanted to go for implementing its test, software testing for them. So can you get under this software testing? We have created number of test projects. So if you just look around test project MS Vijay Cells, MS project. If I use the MS project, so using that MS project, I wanted to do the unit testing for this thing. So can you get here simple like unit test one.c file, basic things, correct? No, a simple structure. But when I just go back for real implementation, test project, sorry, test project. If I just come across it, yes, sorry. Vijay Cells X edit project template I just use. And X edit project, can you just see I created the folders here? And under that particular project, we just look around test. I wanted sample data. So I kept sample data ready for my testing those particular APIs, testing those particular programs and everything. So you really find there's a CSV file contains certain data. You may have some data might be in the form of JSON file, or you may have certain data file in the form of XML, or you may have certain data file in the form of product.json. Correct? You will keep data for sampling purpose. I wanted to test my business object. Business object, business logic, browser automation, API test, controller test, mock test. So we were trying simple examples. I want to test my calculator. That example I was trying to talk about, my addition, subtraction. Have you observed? Inside this whole area, we are using the code, we are writing the things. So here what you want? X unit, you know, Microsoft MS Project Unit, whatever example I shown you. Inside that we find there was an option given called like a test method attribute and test class as attribute. And under that we use assert method. In this case, I just shown you one simple example how you write a test case using X unit. So for X unit, now you have number of different kind of attributes given. So define the theory and define the sample data which you want to give for that particular test. And here, this is the way the test is written. Okay. Public add returns correct sum, INTA, INTP, and expected sum. So in X unit, we always organize your test like arrange, act, and asset. Similarly, last time we created math engine object, I call math engine dot sum, and I again use the same thing here. So using X unit now, what happened? We use different attributes, no? So if someone asked me a question, what is the difference between X unit and N unit and all the things? So I said they all are same. Only thing, everyone has their own different libraries, and for different libraries, we have to use the different packages for them to use within applications. So that is what exactly we see the difference. Inline data. That means now I don't have to create number of data here itself. I'll just write here inline data, inline data, inline data, inline. That means now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These all kind of data will be given. This will be my starting, this will be my values, and this will be my expected values. So whatever value I'll give, accordingly now this thing is going to cross check and things will work. Similarly for this subtract, see, and again same method. So X simple code for your test for your simple math engine logic. HR test. Now what happened? If you look on this example, inside this, if you just come across here, we are using normal case, fact, arrange, act, asset. So we are getting a sample data, correct? No, XML manager. That data we are getting from this, and once the expected people data is available, we actually find are they exactly matching, and if they are matching, then we'll say it's perfectly true. Same thing. I want to get the people data, means I want to test my JSON data. So JSON sample JSON data, I'll take it and again I'll call the same function. Means can my HR manager class will be tested against my expected values. So what do you find? Everywhere you find the structure always remains same. Math engine test, that is what we discuss. Orders, product entity test. So using your Microsoft test, now you are using attribute. Xsuite uses different attributes and MS test uses different attributes. That is the way you always go for testing. If all those things have been properly set out here, listen carefully. If all those properly things have been given to you, you may really go back. You may keep all the applications. You may select option called run test, provided this all kind of projects have been properly set up. Yeah, So if I could really go back and show the project properties, okay. So I really wanted my web API and everything will be working and this whole thing will be carried out. So in that case, I can keep my web API running and try to see my all kind of tests will be run properly one by one. So I would really see the same result for all the things. So just for your understanding, my APIs are here and those APIs I want to test. So if you want to test the API, you'll also have your something called API test. अगर कोई रेडीमेड रेस्ट एपीआई है और उसको अगर आपको टेस्ट करना है तो आपको उसका कैसा कोड लिखना चाहिए? Have you observed? Same test class, same fact. You are writing your unit test. You are trying to create some sample data. You are using arrange data. Call your REST API. Now, how the REST API is getting called? Have you checked it? Underscore HTTP dot line get async, and you pass the URL, base URL. So this base URL is always going to be the URL of a website. So if your REST API is having this particular URL, provided that particular web API is running, and you give that URL and you use this particular HTTP client class, so we would be able to run that particular unit test, and that will show me my perfectly result is working. And if the expected JSON means, if you don't have Postman, you want to do all kind of work programmatically. So we will write this kind of lines of code. We use get async method of the HTTP client. We use response ensure status code. Then we get the response asynchronously content. So whatever content data will come, that data we will again deserialize in the form of list, because we know REST API, whenever you call it, always sends data in the JSON area, JSON. So that JSON need to be converted. That means the JSON deserialization to be done. So that we'll get again result return, and that will use assert dot equal. So in companies, this is what exactly structure they always take it. Web API test, order processing test. Again, further, if you just look around inside, if you are having certain web API which are very very secure web API, तो secure web API टेस्ट करने के लिए शायद आपको JWT टोकन की जरूरत होगी. Without token you cannot call any secure web API. So you need to prepare yourself by keeping that particular JWT token, and then that token you will give for one of the client object, HTTP client object, and you call a get async method. So the token and this thing, everything will go and the response will come back. And if the response returns, I will just check whether the response status code is this value. Is it exactly matching with the okay? That means I will say, yes, my this web API, which is a JWT authentication based web API, it is also been properly tested. So that is what exactly in companies, people write like this kind of softwares. So that my student who is actually working with Microsoft now that time actually we were just discussing. So she said that, Sir Ravi, sir, we really write such kind of like thousands of lines of code just for testing web API. So definitely in such a big companies, even this automation testing code and unit testing code itself has become like a one more separate career. And for that point of view, this whole folder was just created. It's perfectly working, running, testing, Selenium automation test. That is what we did today. Correct, no? So whatever is your path, you can just provide that path, view your website. That is what we did, no? Yes. So I would like to see in your CC, your modeling exam, I'm thinking of using you. Can I ask one particular small practical based question where you would have been asked to write some unit test, as well as you would have been asked to do some kind of website browser automation test, because I do understand most of you haven't created your own AWS account, and if you do not have a AWS account, I think uh, setting some particular exam on AWS would be injustice for those people who couldn't make that particular AWS account. So that's why I'm thinking you need to practice this, whatever I shown today, and their corresponding samples given here itself. You can really clone my repository. Okay, this repository is available. In that repository, everything is kept. TFL software testing. I have already shared its Git URL. Now I wanted you will use your time, go through repository and try to do the same thing which I did. If you are facing any doubt, do ask me, I'll help you. And whenever you are going to work in a .NET, and if you are going to create a project on a .NET, it would be very great. Along with that .NET project, if you just attach your own like a test solution, and under that test solution, if you create the similar kind of folder structure and keep it in your GitHub repository, I think that will make a very good impact in front of the interviewers and as well as those particular technical people. That means they will understand Redextron didn't only know writing code, they also know how to implement testing for their project. Okay. So link is shared. It has got everything about whatever it did today. Is it accessible? Do let me know. Yes, please notify.
Yes, sir. Accessible.
Okay. So I would request you could you could clone that particular repository on your machine and uh, try to see those particular examples. Today's examples, whatever I tried, I will just now upload into your Google Drive folder, and I'm here to help you. Vijay Sales Solution. And what was our project? Just now we created SEDAC, no? The same project. It was SEDAC test project. It got copied into which folder? Repositories. Such kind of contents requires careful going through the content and repeating those small demos for your understanding. So our Selenium driver program here is kept here. Let me remove first bin directories. Whenever I want to share something, it's always suggested remove your bin directories so that the size of your zip will be less. Let me close Visual Studio. One, two, three. Shift delete. Again. Is the if server is running, which cannot be complete because the folder is already open somewhere. Let me try bin again. Okay. Can I zip it? These all kind of images has been already kept in that particular GitHub repository, so I don't have to again share. SEDAC project is here, and VJSL solution project is also been kept. Or you want me to give that for zip file also?
No, sir, we'll copy that.
But so please take your time right now. Please try to explore that particular folder and do know. But actually, I want first you please go back and use your Visual Studio.NET and see, can you create one simple MS test project template? Can you simply write simple test case the way I created my SEDAC project? See, are we able to create that class library? Are we able to add the reference of that class library? Are we able to see how many tests pass, how many, which test is pass, which test is not fail? Correct? No, because this is what exactly you would require. And at the same time, you also need to do one thing. Oh, I also need to share that folder. No, otherwise you'll also spend time like mine for searching for that version of Chrome driver.zip file. See, I'm just putting that Chrome driver ka zip file, which I spent almost 50 minutes time just for searching it, right version. So Chrome drivers 64-bit zip file also now shared with you. So I would like to see that you will try to extract this particular Chrome driver, store it in somewhere on D drive, and the browser automation code, whatever we tried, correct? No, see, is it really working? But for that thing, you require the TFL store application. So for your understanding point of view, I will also share the TFL store application so they can try against it. D colon Ravi tab. No, I think that is already there, no, in your GitHub repository, TFL store repository, correct? No, which you last time might have already cloned it. You please clone that thing in your local machine and get that solution. It is in tab TFL store. Yes, TFL store. I would not provide node models, otherwise the size of that zip will be very large. So I'm just deleting node models folder of a TFL store. Once you download that zip file on your machine, your job is to use npm install command so that the dependencies will be downloaded. And then using Node.js on your local machine, you can run it. And using Selenium driver, I wanted you need to see that automation, browser automation in browser is happening. Here is your TFL store. So TFL store, SEDAC test project, Chrome driver. Your task for lab, you should be able to create a Visual Studio.NET project where you can do unit testing for particular class. Second thing, you should be able to create one particular simple console application using C Sharp, where using Selenium driver, you will be able to do browser automation for your, which one? TFL store application. And also please do one thing, you should also able to download that particular extension for Selenium ID. These three tasks you are going to do on your machine at this moment. Okay. I'm now stopping my screen. Now I'm expecting you will do the answer now.
सर
Continue. Yes.
सर वो क्या नाम है
कौन
एक्स
सा?
यूनिट सर ये जो फाइल डाउनलोड करी थी सर उसे कौन से उसमें प्रोजेक्ट में ऐड करना है सर उसमें थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन क्रिएट हो रहा था
कौन सा?
सर सेलिलियम से जो एक्स यूनिट फाइल डॉट सी एस फाइल डाउनलोड करी थी ना सर उसके लिए
अरे हाँ 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 हाँ।
सर उसमें थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम आ रहा था मेरे को मैंने ब्रेक में करने की कोशिश करी
Show
मगर
me.
हो नहीं पाया।
Can you share your screen so that I could guide you?
ओके सर।
Okay. This file might have downloaded. No, you just click on that file.
यस सर।
Hmm. Now this code is there just like a code snippet, correct? No. So this is a code snippet come with that all combination code, class
यस।
and everything, correct? No.
यस सर।
So I eliminated that statements. I just did one thing. The browser, what is that? Line number 29, which was written, no?
यस सर।
Ha. So from that thing, actually, I copied code and put into my main function of a console application.
ओके सर।
Copy that code from line number 29. Hmm. Control X. Have you created any console application where you
नो
want
सर।
to? So then your job is to first create one, right click, add new console application, add new project.
सर कंसोल एप्लीकेशन।
Yes, console. It's there first. Next. Create. Now in main function, under at the no yes, remove that console. Yeah, below at the end of this particular console application, console right line hello world line, you
यस सर।
paste it inside. Now you wanted that driver object, you wanted that particular JavaScript, so come back again to that code snippet. Now your snippet, which you just now copied from that list. ये तो आपका कोड हो गया, आपने किसी फाइल में ओपन किया था उसे?
सर इसी फाइल में ओपन हो गया शायद वो।
Don't worry, I think there is a first test.c sharp file is already written. See, Visual Studio में ही आप Visual Studio में just देखो second tab,
First
the second
yes.
the second tab of that Visual Studio, program.c sharp file का सामने वाला, हाँ, just go up.
ओके सर।
हाँ, now you do one thing, take the first three lines, line number 14, 15 and 16, and paste there, and remove that public keyword for first line number 8, and just say iWeb driver, and use that iWeb driver equal to, right there, iWeb driver equal to new Chrome driver, na?
यस सर।
Yeah. Otherwise, you can copy. It is not going to show unless until you import that particular package. अब वहां से कॉपी करो, उसके कंस्ट्रक्टर के अंदर लिखा देखिए, हाँ, यस, राइट, या, okay. Same thing. You wanted that particular iDictionary object, where's
यस
equal
सर।
to, where's remove that public, equal to, and go to the constructor.
सर कंस्ट्रक्टर।
Yeah,
सर ड्राइवर क्लास है।
yes, yeah, driver. See, it's constructor equal to, right? and that where initialization new dictionary object to be given, no?
Yes, sir. उल्टा.
उल्टा हो गया. And I JavaScript JS equal to, see which is that line was supposed to be used for initializing your JS equal to new I JavaScript executor. Driver. Now you wanted those all kind of packages will be resolved, no?
Yes, sir.
So can you go to the dependencies? So
Yes, sir.
right click and select your manage Nugget package
New
manager.
get.
Yes. And under browsers, you know, Selenium. So we try to search Selenium WebDriver.
This one.
Selenium WebDriver. Yes. Select install. So this package has got all the open QA. Good. Now you want to import those namespace, no?
Yes, sir.
So go to the file or program.c file. Yeah. Before you're using line number 1 namespace, before before namespace type using openqa.selenium, using openqa.selenium, then again .selenium, semicolon, enter. Now one more, two more required. Using open, again one more sentence you write, using openqa selenium.chrome. Selenium.chrome. Is it available?
Yes, sir.
Good. And one more namespace required, using openqa.selenium.interactions.
Interactions. Sir, path.
Now, have you downloaded that particular zip file about Chrome driver, which I shared in Google Drive?
No, sir.
Just don't waste time. I already given to you. Let's come back,
Where?
and I already shared in your Google Drive page, Google Drive, जहाँ पे मैं अपने सारे कंटेंट आई टू पास इट नो.
सर शायद वो मैंने देखा नहीं उसमें. मैं डायरेक्ट गिट रिपोजिटरी को ही वो करता था सर.
कोई बात नहीं. I mean, go back to the Google Drive
सर तो.
because if the version is not properly been matched, no, then your code would not work. That's the reason.
ओके सर.
That's the reason. Otherwise, you could try and to try and again spend your half an hour and then you'll get frustrated and they'll say it's very difficult.
सर जस्ट 2 मिनट. आई एम जस्ट find that repository.
Your common drive where SDM related stuff being kept every day.
Yes, sir.
Could you find there is a day 3 folder? Day 4, sorry. Under day 4, you will get Chrome driver -win64 zip file. You download it. Double click. First you extract, and then your job is to copy its exe file. Extract there itself.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, under downloads, you'll have that folder created. Now double click. Now you may give this whole path also, but that path is going to like becoming very large path. That's why you can just copy that particular Chrome driver.exe file and somewhere in a D drive paste.
Somewhere. Okay,
Somewhere
sir.
in D drive create one folder called Chrome driver or anything like a DRV folder and give
Chrome.
that both that folder's path.
Okay, sir.
Done. We are not able to see a screen.
My screen is not visible, sir.
Yeah, it's got stopped.
Sorry, sir. I don't know.
Yeah. Now show me where it's copied in D drive.
Yes, sir.
It's a D/Chrome
Chrome
driver.
drive.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You just need to give that path of that directory, not the name of that exe file. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can you come down to your code and done? Yes. Can you see that everything, every compile time error gone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, which website you are trying to? Acha, you are trying the same thing. Then
Yes, sir.
have you download that TFL store on your machine?
Yes,
Have you
sir.
installed? Then you need to run that particular application, no? Node server.js. You need to keep ready. In
Software.
model in
No,
modeling
no.
exam, I may expect this particular thing. Where is your TFL store application? Yes. Cd TFL store. Node server.js. Now it is running. Now you kept your server running.
Yes, sir.
Now you wanted right click on that particular console application and set it as a startup project. Right hand side in a solution window, right click,
Yes, sir.
select set as a startup project option.
Select.
Below you'll find, if you just keep scrolling down, you'll find there's an option called set as a startup project. No, above. Set it
Yes.
as a startup project. Yes. When number of projects are there in a one solution and you want to make only one project executable project, that time we always right click on that project and say set as a startup project. So if there are 20 projects available, only one project you can make it active at a time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You
Well, sir.
didn't try this option in your Visual Studio last time?
No, sir.
Sir, we actually did used to do some and that runs and
Acha,
this is
you're
just one.
using VS
Yes,
Code.
yes, sir, from here.
Acha,
From
means
here.
pura. Okay. That means I means what I understand in your .NET you created only one project. You didn't
No,
create multiple
No, no,
projects,
sir.
correct? No.
We
it
have used, sir, multiple project, but we are selecting from here.
Acha, okay. No problem. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. Now click on that console and see whether the Chrome driver is loaded and after the browser is launched and The steps are getting work. Your website is getting access in a Chrome. See, Chrome driver loaded. Now we would like to see Chrome is launched. Yes. Website is launched.
Yes,
The
sir.
products are selected. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So this is the way. Now we can really change any kind of lines of code under that particular main function to define different navigation walkthrough for your browser automation. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So each and every one, you need to do it on your machine. If you don't do it and you just watch, you'll feel that yes, I understood. But if in modeling exam, if I ask you to perform this task, then you will have problem.
Sir, this project I have tried in test library, in test
Okay.
console something project. I
Okay.
have created that and
Okay.
forget to create console app. That's why I'm getting error again and again.
Okay. Okay. No worries.
Again,
It's
thank you,
always,
sir.
yeah, it's always good if you could make a lot of mistakes during lab time so that your mentor will be there to help,
Yes, sir.
because if you try to do this practicals after this class get over, so during that time, then no one will be there to help you.
Yes, sir.
Sure. So rest of the participants, please go through my software testing repositories. Again, now you can also see if you want to know in how much depth level you can really go for the software testing using this uh, A unit, X unit part. Try to create one test project by your own. See, can you also write simple code for simple unit test? I may ask you one task, ki build test driven development environment for authentication module where we would like to write a unit test for change password, forgot password, change password, forgot password, and validate method. Now, once I given that answer, that means I'm expecting there might be some class called as a authentication manager class. Authentication manager class would have validate method, change password method, forgot password method, and you wanted to write the unit test for these three methods using MS Test project. So please create that particular skeleton and see tests are working, and the time would be given for almost 1 hour. You'll have this complete task as a 20 marks task. So your job is to be ready for that particular modeling exam. If you already have your AWS accounts ready, then I could also add the task of Docker creation and Docker part. But I would like to check it with Vipul sir, because Vipul sir will inform me if all of you have AWS account, then I will decide to make this part also part of our modeling exam test. Come on, try. Take your self-study mode now.